Hi there, it's Ron, and Zeus is hanging out with me. He was just napping while I was out running and walking for a little while. Anyway, I just want to make a little video about a couple things. Mostly talk about my sobriety, and just a little. I'll make another video in the near future, but just a little about why I decided to choose sobriety. This all goes back a long way. There's no simple answer, no simple story, but Pete Townshend, of course, the wonderful guitar player for The Who, he kind of explained his addiction, and alcohol was his drug of choice as well. He did others as well, but alcohol was his drug of choice, and mine was too. And I remember reading and seeing interviews too with Pete where he said he was doing that to numb the pain, to numb his feelings, to numb his horrible thoughts and everything. And I totally get that, and because that's pretty much what I was doing for many years. And I've been thinking about this more since number one. Now it's a little bit after midnight, February, April 23rd. May 7th is going to make 2 years sober for me. So I'll make a few more videos about sobriety. And well, things changed a lot after the Boston Marathon bombs. And that's been on my mind. Two things. That's been on my mind since we just passed the 15th of April, passed the 8th anniversary of the bombings. April 21st, we passed the 7th anniversary of the 2014 Boston Marathon when we reclaimed our finish line. Yay! Also, April 19th was the 16th anniversary of my dear friend James's passing. James was my best friend ever, my soulmate, my partner in crime. And one of the things I've talked to my therapist about that's kind of hard for me to totally wrap my mind around, and maybe it's survivor's guilt in a way, that with my drinking, I was far more reckless, both in the amounts I was drinking and my behavior. I was far more reckless than James was for a longer period of time. But he had his problems with drinking and other drugs, and it's always been kind of, that's part of the difficulty of it, is that, like I said, I was a lot more reckless than he was, and he's gone as of 16 years ago, and I'm still here. But my mom always said it, and my therapist echoes it: everything happens for a reason. Not that that's not meant in any dismissive way at all. It's more, maybe I should say, what my therapist says: you're here for a reason. You survived all that for a reason. And I think that kind of nails it. That's now I have all these things I'm working on in addition to my sobriety. As a result of my sobriety, let's see, Sunday I'll be doing another Recovery 101 presentation, and my section of that is the 4-hour presentation. We have 4 different peer presenters, and I'm one of them, and my section is treatment and recovery. So we do kind of a PowerPoint presentation online via Zoom, and um, share parts of our stories, our personal stories, along with the slide presentation. And I think it's a really great presentation, and I think pretty effective and everything, and very educational. Doing that on Sunday. On Monday, we have a pre-planning meeting for our next NAMI Day of Action, which is going to be, there's going to be two parts of it. I think it's April 29th. We're going to be talking to a state senator about mental health related legislation, and more than likely I'll function as a storyteller again. That's been my most effective role in this, sharing parts of my personal story in recovery. And then Friday we'll have a NAMI Day of Action. It's more of a celebratory thing. And what else is going on? More volunteer stuff with NAMI. And I'll continue my YouTube videos, my podcast, mostly focusing on mental health. There's some running stuff in there too, and all that, but mostly focusing on mental health issues. And I think one of the most powerful parts of my story is how the marathon bombings, even though that nearly was the final thing that destroyed me, because, shortly after that, a couple months later, Pretty Girl died. My awesome little red-nosed pit bull. She saved me after that happened. Then a couple months later, she was gone, and I was really in trouble. So even though I continued to slide downhill, was drinking maybe more than ever after that on almost a nightly basis, that was the tectonic shift that kind of changed everything. I've told my therapist recently, and I've said it a few times, there's a clear delineation between life before the bombings and life after the bombings. And in a nutshell, and I've mentioned before, that's what led me to finally focusing on seeking and then finding effective mental health therapy. If not for that, I would not be sober. There's a very strong chance I wouldn't be alive. So, what's that phrase? A Nietzsche quote. Throw roses into the abyss and say, "Here's my thanks to the monster who didn't succeed in swallowing me alive." I think that kind of captures it, and that's a little bit nihilist, I know, but right, give thanks to the monster who didn't succeed in swallowing me alive. So I do think that I'm here for a reason. I made it through all that for a reason, and that's the stuff that motivates me. That's the stuff that motivates me to do what I'm doing with public speaking and volunteering for NAMI. For those who don't know, is National Alliance on Mental Illness. We're the largest mental health organization in the nation, and I'm proud to be part of that. But there's no real, I wish there was a secret to sobriety or whatever, but the thing is, you do have to work at it. You do actually have to really want it. And I feel fortunate too. Just recently, I'm now going to have to postpone my upcoming surgery, but getting chest x-rays and EKG and all that, overall I'm in pretty good health, especially considering all that. Now a lot of that is just because I've always been in sports. I always been a runner since I was a kid, and I was in sports before that. All the regular sports, football, basketball, baseball, everything, basically soccer. So I just want to share that I'm actually kind of excited that 2 years is coming up. And tonight's run made 7,960 days in a row, but we're going to keep on going. So I'm excited about the Recovery 101 seminar that we have coming up on Sunday, and I'm even more excited about doing this will be my third NAMI Day of Action, where we talk to state legislatures or their staff about these different mental health related bills. So there's just a lot of power in that. Anyway, Zeus, you ready to eat, buddy? Means Zeus, you're going to have a late night meal. Hope everyone's doing well. Remember, we are luminous beings. Everyone take care. And Boston strong. Peace. Happy Earth Day.